welcome to another ComfyUI session. In this video, we will have some fun with new features and we will try them out in ComfyUI. Just 3 days ago, a new AI upsampler has been released by Team Features and Label. The new upsampler is called Aura ASR, and it looks amazing and is really intriguing. I did not want to wait until this is somehow integrated in ComfyUI. So I went ahead and created my own node and integrated this new AI model. I'm your host, Edwin Braun, and I'm so thankful that you are here and watching this video. If you find this interesting and useful, please subscribe and like this video. This will ensure that I keep making these kind of videos. And also I plan to release this ComfyUI node I'm just showing you here in this video. So if you're interested, please leave a comment. If you're new to ComfyUI or AI in general, do not forget to check out my installation tutorial of ComfyUI that will show up here or there. It's one of the easiest to follow tutorials and it will get you up and running in no time at all, made for Windows users. So enough talk and let's have a look at this brand new AI model and see what it can do. So let me just switch to my browser window. Before we dive into ComfyUI, let's see what all this fuss is about. As I mentioned in my introduction, there's this new AI model and that was released June 26th, so 3 days ago, only 3 days. So this is brand new. A brand new AI model, and it's an upscaler or upsampler model. So what it does, it scales 4 times from the original resolution. And it looks like from their webpage, this is pretty amazing and good. So it seems to recover information and all this. They mention a little bit what they're doing and why. And it's an open source model, so it's free for everyone. It seems to be really interesting. And that's why I wanted to get this AI model. Keep in mind, I don't think it is meant as a general purpose image upscaler, so you throw crap at it and it upscales. But let's see. I wanted to know how this works. So if you're interested as well in getting this model and integrating it into your own applications, just go to the Hugging Face repository and just download it. It's described here how it works and what you can do with it. But enough talk. Let's dive in and do the first test. And I just want to tell you one thing I immediately realized or found out. Let me just get the iguana as a JPEG model. So I started as a JPEG model because JPEGs are nice and small file formats. So I wanted to try out what they had on their webpage so I can see if my upscaler is working or not. So I created this node here, and along with all the dependencies, I implemented that. How about let's just have a look. I'll just run it. At first, that looks good, but our upscaled image is not really nice. It doesn't really look good. And if we zoom in, we have these strange things going on here. So first I thought, oh, my mistake. I did something wrong with the implementation of this AI model. However, when I looked closer, I can see these are boxes. So those are little boxes that show up. We can see them up here and here, nice boxes. So I immediately realized, okay, that's JPEG artifacts. So what this scaler seems to be doing is it finds these JPEG artifacts, these boxes, and it scales them up and tries to interpret them as information in the image. So as I mentioned before, this is not meant as an all-purpose save every problem and fix all crappy images on the internet. So I said, okay, let's try out something else. So I'll get the same model, same resolution, same everything as a PNG file. So now when we do the upscaling, let's have a look how this goes. So now we have upscaling and we get exactly the result we are after. So that's similar to their really high detail reconstruction of the upscaling image here. So we get this really nice upscaling. This is the original image and this is our upscaling image. So that looks impressive. And keep in mind, this picture is 256 by 256. So very little image there that we are upscaling. Then I wanted to know, okay, let's not only use their own example, because probably they trained it for their little lizard here. How about when we throw some real world images there? Let me start with this image here. And once more, let's have a look here. Looks pretty good, right? So let's start and upscaling this image. So we have the upscaling, and from at first sight, it looks good, much more detail, but we can already see something is going on here. So we can see same issue again. These are JPEG artifacts. We can see them even here in the simple upscaling. What I did here, let me just explain again. So here's the 4 times the new model, and that's just a really cheap pixel upscale. So we compare big pixel upscaling. Let me just go to nearest exact, because that shows us what really happens. So when we have pixel upscaling, we get these really strange artifacts when we do just a pixel upscale. So then I was thinking about, what can I do to make this a little bit better for my testing? And what I did is I just added this resize. So I'm going to resize this image. Right now I'm resize and keep the proportion so we're not squeezing it. And I just added this resize image thing here. And now let's have a look. And the artifacts are gone, and we get really nice detail out of this when we compare it with the other method, the very cheap and simple method of upscaling. So we get really nice details out of this. So this little trick here helped us, and that's a poor man's get rid of JPEG artifacts, because we are interpolating here. And we can use even a better interpolation for this kind of trick I'm trying here to get rid of JPEG artifacts here. And it's actually really good here. We get all the information. And then, yes, the picture is really bad. Let me just open the original picture. That's the original size. And if we now zoom into it, we can see the picture is not really good. So let me just zoom back to original size. So then I said, okay, let's try out some other images, just random images I picked from the internet. And let's try out this image. I'll turn off again. So now we get the original raw image, and we're scaling this up 4 times. One method is the Aura ASR upscaler, and the other method is the brutal pixel upscaling. And we can see there is already change visible. So we can see we get much more, especially here, we get much more details. But again, we seem to catch again the JPEG artifacts. And let's have a look. If this is a JPEG, it's a JPEG image. So what we are now going to do, just for the fun of it, we are activating this one again. And now I'm reducing this to a really tiny size, 256. So that's 256 and whatever the height is. And now look at the difference. And we scaled it up. Let me just bring up the original upscaled image. That's now 680 by 1024. And we get really nice image here. And let's just get the upscaled image, and that's how it looks like. So that seems to be working really, really well. And now if we have some wiggle room, so we can go to, I think it was something like 512, and here's something like 1024 or something. I don't know. That will be now, it picks whatever the ratio is. So this will be now a huge upscale. I guess if we will end up with 4,000 or so. Let's see. Okay, we can see here, especially up here, nice detail reconstruction up here, really nice details. And again, we're just throwing image with the poor man's JPEG artifact removal. And let's have a look at the original picture. So we are 2048 by 3000. So that's a really huge image. And for what it does, it's pretty good. And now let's have a look at the other image here. And we can see that's the usual upscaling pixel stuff here. Even for these kind of pictures, it looks pretty amazing what it can do. Let's just take another picture here, 256, so that we are not killing our memory here if we overdo it all the time. So I'm doing the same upscaling things. And again, with this little resizing trick to get rid of our artifacts. And we still can see we have visible JPEG artifacts. So let's try another filter and see if that is better. And look, isn't that amazing? Now it's gone. And again, we are working with a very low resolution, bad image. And it was able to upscale it pretty well. So that's actually really good. So now let's try this little dino toy and see what we can get out of this. So we can see our normal upscaling is pretty missing all the details. And that's just amazing. I cannot understand how this can reconstruct all this information. So it looks like this thing, this AI is really trained and able to reconstruct this kind of structures. And yes, it will fail in sometimes, especially when the image is not really good and has bad JPEG artifacting, but that is insane. That's really insane. So I like that. And keep in mind, this is not meant for what I'm doing here. The AI is meant for your text to image output to scale it up. So it works much better with that. So let's get another real world picture. So nothing artificial, or it could come out of a image, text to image AI thing. Again, it's JPEG, so we need to have our little trick here, but let's scale it down to 256 by 256. And we can see already amazing upscaling. And I just can't believe, look at the tree. Where does it get the information and reconstruction for the upscaled image? So that's pretty amazing. So now let's just try the original picture again, and we'll just try that and upscale the original picture. Oh, I didn't know, didn't check how big it is. Oh, it's pretty big, I guess. So now we have this kind of reconstruction here. And again, we get these artifacting. So we need to do our JPEG, do our little JPEG trick. So let's see what the original size of the image is. So it's 1024. So we're talking 1024. So let's just do the same trick again. I'm just rescaling this to 1024 something, and we're using this filter. Works sometimes better. And now let's see if we can fix it. if there is a difference. And I can't believe it. That fixed it. Look at this upscaling. So, and how big is now our original upscale picture? It's 1700 by 1024. That's an upscale. That's pretty amazing. So again, I'm abusing this model here for upscaling images, but for just throwing a picture there, doing a little bit of poor man's image processing, you usually should do the image processing later on in Photoshop or so. Let's go back. They mention that you can have a upscaler after an upscaler. So you can put them in a row. So let's try out this. I'm really curious if that works. So for that, I use my little Orlando here, our cat, and I'll just use this image here. Let's check out how big this image is. So that's 400 by 300, so that's not really a big picture. Let's just do the upscaling in a cascade. So what I'm doing here, I just turn this off as well. This is another trick I'm going to explain in a second here. So what I did is I have an upscaler and another upscaler. So we upscale by 4 and we upscale by 4 again. I'll do the same here with the pixel upscale. So let's just run this. So now we have to run this 2 times, the upscaling. And keep in mind, the upscaler itself is creating high detailed upscales. And now we're upscaling again and getting this high detail. Let's see what we get as a result if we just do a one-to-one cascade. And it's never a good idea to have upscale from upscale from upscale. It will get only worse and worse and worse. Those are huge images now, I guess. And let's have a look. So that's the not so upscale. Oh, it's working here. So that's the huge image. And look at this. And that's the effect I was talking about. Look at the fur. I love the fur down here. That's amazing. It's crazy. But so it was upscaling 2 times. So the highly detailed model is detailed again. So we can't have that. So my idea was, okay, how about we trick this little thing here? We blur just a tiny little bit. We blur this upscaled image and let it recover the details again. So let's see if that works. So we'll see if that works for us. So it's now upscaling the upscaled image with a little bit of blur in between. And you already can see it. Look at that. Isn't that insane? I did a double upscale from an original picture of 256 by 256. So that little picture is just mush. We can upscale here. Look at this. This is insane what this AI does. Let's have a look at the original picture here we did with a simple poor man upscaling. So that's now 4096 upscale. And that's what usually happens with upscaling. So you can have different interpolation methods and it will just get blurry and lose information. And now let's have a look at this and its full beauty. Look at this information. I just can't believe it. This upscaler is insane. So that's amazing. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show you. I hope you enjoyed that. Keep in mind this Aura ASR is available now. It's brand new and it looks really good. It looks really good. I need to do more testing and I need to work on my Upscaler node until it's ready and I can share it. However, maybe someone else is better in ComfyUI node writing or programming. They can do it probably as well. However, I will fiddle around and probably implement these little tricks here to get rid of JPEG artifacts, or maybe I find a better method to remove JPEG artifacts so that you can actually use it in a batch mode and upscale thousands of pictures you have and do all kinds of stuff. But for now, that's really amazing. I'm planning right now with this upscaler another video. I hope I can see you there. And for now, that's it. And thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and like, press the bell icon. That helps me a lot and helps us a lot in keeping the channel alive and doing more videos like these. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.